Hello everyone, welcome to CliCli. Today we're going to learn about ability production. Ability is an essential part of the game. How is the cool AoE ability of Clint made? First, let's take a look at the three critical points of casting a simple ability. Anticipation starts, anticipation ends, and continuous casting ends. When a unit casts an ability, it usually has a cast action. After the anticipation starts point, the animation of unit's cast action will be played, such as the magician lifting the wand. Anticipation ends is the start of the casting process. For example, at this critical point, the magician begins to chant a spell. The last one is continuous casting ends, which means the cast ends. In the example, it is the ending point of the spell. After continuous casting ends, some characters may have an ending pose. Next, let's enter CliCli and see how to create an ability. Step 1. Trigger components. First, place some neutral hostile monster units on the map. Then, create a new custom ability. Name it Electric Shock and add some description for it. We can edit the attributes of the ability in data. In Fix Attributes, Basic Attributes, keep Turn Before Cast checked. Check Immediately Cast when out of range. Uncheck all the others. Then, choose Circle Indicator as the indicator type. You can set the circle radius as you like. We set it to be 300. We also need to create a custom projectile thunder as the cast effect of the ability. Lastly, in Object Editor, Units, find a hero Clint, and add this custom ability for him as the common ability. Step 2. Edit the trigger. The ability has two stages. Stage 1. Anticipation starts to anticipation ends. Stage 2. Anticipation ends to continuous casting ends. In Stage 1, the cast action should be played. Stage 2 is the main body of casting the ability. In this stage, after anticipation ends, we need a cast effect to show that the ability is used. So we need to create a projectile at the location of the ability. Next, as the ability is an AoE ability, we need to identify all the units within a certain range of the skill in order to cause AoE damage to these units. We can take the ability cast point as center. Set all units within the radius of 300 as a unit group. Then, pick every unit in the unit group to perform actions. Then, use if statements to determine whether the picked unit and the ability owner are hostile. Deal damage to the unit if the condition is met. Display the damage value in the game. If the condition is not met, which means the unit is allied or friendly unit, no action will be performed. Now, we have known about the logic. Let's see how to set the triggers in CliCli. We can edit the triggers of abilities directly in Object Editor. Select Electric Shock. Click on Triggers. Add a new trigger and rename it to Stage 1. The event is ability. Anticipation starts. The action is Play Unit Animation. Select Unit. Animation. Play Animation. The unit is ability owner. The parameter string is the name of the animation. Enter attack 1. Between 0 and -1 seconds. The -1 seconds here means playing the action to the end. Set rate to be 1. That is the normal play speed. Select false, as we do not need to loop this animation. Select true for the last parameter to make the unit return to default animation once finished. What is playing action attack 1 in this statement? Attack 1 refers to the built-in animation of units. Select units. Choose a random unit. In display, we can preview the built-in animations here. Click the drop-down button and select Attack 1 to see what the animation of the current unit Attack 1 looks like. The triggers of Stage 1 is done. Let's see the triggers of Stage 2. Add a new trigger. Rename it to Stage 2. The event is Anticipation Ends. In action, create the projectile Thunder at selected location for current ability. Add a parameter and set the duration to 3 seconds. Add an action. Select unit group. Pick unit in unit group to perform action. Use function filter all units in range to filter all units in a circle range. Set the radius to be 300. The center of the circle should be the selected location for current ability. Now, add an if-then-else condition to determine factions and deal damage. Use if condition to determine whether the units are hostile. That is, the unit selected when picking units and the ability owner are hostile. When the condition is met, the if-then action list will be performed. Then, in if-then action list, select unit deal damage. To deal 500 magical damage, to the unit selected when picking units. As we want to display the damage value, choose true to deal damage with combat text. And the damage is from current ability and ability owner. Lastly, in if-else action list, the selected unit is allied or friendly unit, so the ability damage will not be caused and no actions are needed here. So far, all the triggers are finished. Let's enter the game and test the effect. Now, it's time to review what we learned today. 1. There are 3 critical points of casting a simple ability: anticipation starts, anticipation ends, and a continuous casting ends. After the anticipation starts point, the animation of unit's cast action is usually played. Anticipation ends is the start of the casting process. Continuous casting ends means the cast ends. 2. We also designed an AoE ability for the hero. In the next video, we'll learn about the UI editor. See you next time.